Hi, this is Tanya Sheridan. I am coming to you to share how to create one of the create and takes from the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo event. This is the Love This Life layout. It is an interactive flip-flap layout. So I thought I would talk you through it's a very basic concept. I would talk you through that first, and then I'm going to show you how to layer your flip-flaps. So you're going to start, you have two white pieces of cardstock. Those are going to be your bases. You have two pieces of pattern paper. You have the wood grain piece, and then you have this beautiful floral piece. So both of those you're going to cut the same way. You're going to take the piece of paper and you're going to cut it at 7.5 inches. On the floral, it doesn't make much of a difference on the direction of the paper. The wood grain paper, you do want to make sure that the wood grain is moving vertically. So you're going to cut that 7.5 inches. The 7.5 side of the wood grain goes on the left page, and then the 4.5 goes on the end of the right page. And then you're doing the same thing for the floral, so you're going to reverse it. The 4.5 goes on the left page, and the 7.5 goes on the right page. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 12-inch pieces of gold glitter trim and you're going to put those all the way down. Now, if you want to save your trim, you could snip it to here and there and there and there and just use little tiny spots, but for me it was easier just to go all the way down with the 12x12 strip. Now, note that both of the gold glitter gems are on the wood grain paper. So you can put it on the floral and mix things up a little bit, but you don't want to have, you know, a gap and so forth. So however you want to do it, but I have mine on the wood grain paper. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to glue down these mats, and I have them all flat. You could of course pop them up with 3D thin foam tape or regular foam tape if you desire, and they're going to create a cascading effect. So you'll notice that these two and these two are lying in vertically, and then you have these two kind of balancing it out for that cascading effect. Then you're going to take, you have two strips of 1/2 inch by 12 inch of white daisy cardstock, and those are for your journaling prompts. So these, I have the measurement written down on the instructions, but you can cut them exactly like I have and stagger them, or you can cut them to fit your own personal journaling. So if one sentence is longer, wherever the journaling breaks, and that will still look very nice. On the edges, this is the gold shimmer trim. You should have a short piece. It's about that long, maybe 4 inches or so. So you're going to cut these little teeny tiny flags out of that shimmer tape. The flat edge is going to butt up against the journaling piece, okay? So the flag is facing the left. And then once you've done your journaling, whether you do it on your computer or whether you do it by hand, then you're going to add these 4 little red gems or magenta gems to bullet point your journaling. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to add your sequins. So you have a cluster of 3 gold up here. You have a cluster of 3 gold here. This is another one of the journaling prompts. So you're going to cut this white daisy piece, and it actually goes inside of a magenta piece that's already pre-cut for you and in your bag. So that one you could do like a mini title or a date or something more specific. You could do whatever you would like on it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like with your journaling over here. And then on this one, I gave you a couple of options. I added a piece of white and gold ribbon to the bottom. I went all the way across, and then I tied a knot and glued the knot on top. So my plan was to use this for an extra journaling piece, but you could also use it for a photograph. So you can see that this white piece of paper, this is my pretend photo. Those are all 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, but I cut this one a little bit shorter so that the ribbon could come across the bottom. You could have the ribbon come across your photograph if it makes sense. You could shorten your photograph, or you could use a longer journaling piece here as well. So those are several options for you for this layout. Of course, if you have any questions, you can email me at INALLSASSINESS@gmail.com. This kit is still available to order at www.inallsassiness.com. So if you didn't pick one up during the event, I still have some available. It's just $10, so it's a fabulous deal. So then I wanted to show you how to add your flip-flaps. So the most important thing is to put your page into your protector, and I'm using the side load, but you could use top load, you could use strap hinge, or whatever you normally use. I love the side load. I didn't used to use those. I always used the top load. And we went through a spurt where Close to My Heart was out of them for a while. And I started using the side load, and now I don't want to go back. They're so much easier, and when I'm looking at my book, my pages don't slip out and what have you. So those are the page protectors. You notice I slid them in. Then we're gonna do our flip flaps, and these are our flip flaps. They come in lots of different sizes. This particular size is the 4x6. So in a pack of 4x6, you're gonna receive 6 with the seal going horizontal, and then 6 with the seal going vertical. So you get 2 packages, or you get a package of 12, 6 of each direction. So I have 3 here, and we're going to use it on this photograph. You can use them wherever you'd like. You could also do them this way, like a book, with the horizontal. It doesn't have to be going up and down, but you can do it either way. I would challenge you, if you're doing something like this with one flip flap, it's going to flap down when you open your book. So if you want to do one doing like that or going like that, have something on top of the page protector to hold it in place, maybe a little brad or a piece of ribbon or something that you can tab it so that it stays shut until you're ready to open it. That's just something that I've learned from experience. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna touch the flip flap, and you'll notice that this white piece here has a texture to it. If you can feel the texture on your finger, then that is where the adhesive side is. The other side is flat and it's smooth, so that's just kind of a trick. There's lots of ways to put them on, but I fold mine over, reinforce it, and I put it like this, okay? Now, the photograph here is a little bit smaller than 4x6, and that's okay, because we're gonna do this over the mat. So what I do is I pull off just a little bit, about an inch or so, and just kind of tuck it behind my fingers. I line up the flip flap where I want it to be, and then I press down in the corner. And I hold it with my left hand as I slowly slide the piece off. Then I open it up and reinforce the seal just to make sure that it's nice and tight. Now, one thing that I have noticed, if you were going to put a second flip flap here, you notice that the flip flap is a little bit bigger than the 4x6 photo, because the photo has to slide down in, and then you have the stitching around it, the seam, to keep it sealed. So it is kind of challenging if your flip flaps are really close together, because they tend to get caught. So if it's super, super close, you might want to consider maybe doing one here and one there, or what have you, so that they're not catching on each other. But for this one, we're going to do a staggering effect, and you can stagger up or you can stagger down. So by that I mean, if I'm going to come down, I can do a second one there and a third one here, and I'm only seeing the bottom of the top, okay, of the top photograph. Up here, you will see a little bit of each picture at the top. Or I can reverse it and I can go upward, so that I am seeing the little bit, I like the layering effect, but I'm seeing the layering on the bottom of the photographs and not the top. So whichever one that you like. You can also put them exactly on top of each other. I just like the layered look, and so that's what I'm showing you today. So I'm going to attach this one just as I attached the other one. I'm going to pull a little bit of that film, and it is doing plastic on plastic, so I'm going to be super careful when I'm lining it up. Make sure my edges, and I only want a tiny margin of that top photograph to show for this way. So I'm going to hold it down and then just slowly pull the film off. I'm going to open it up just like the other one and then seal it shut. And then I'm going to do it one more time so you can see that they're kind of a waterfall type effect. So since I am doing a staggering effect, I want it to be about the same part of the margin. So I'm just making sure that I have that. And I'm pulling this just a little bit as I go until I apologize, I know that the light reflects on the flip flap. It makes it a little bit challenging to photograph. Okay, so there you have one, and you have two, and then you have the base one. So this ensemble right here is going to give you 2 pictures, 4 pictures, 5 pictures in one little spot. Now, typically what I like to do, and I didn't think to grab some, is take some of this gold shimmer trim or whatever color you're using, and I like to attach it to the flip flap here, pull it out about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, and attach it to the back and then seal it shut. And that just gives you an interactive little tab to encourage people that, hey, there's extra photographs there and you can flip them as well. So again, 2, 4, oops, I apologize, 6, and then 7. So 7 on this left page. Then you add the other ones, that makes it 8, 9, 10, and then if you use this one, that makes it 11. So this enables you to get 11 really nice, almost 4x6 photographs on one page. If you have any questions, just like I said, shoot me an email and I will try to help you out. Otherwise, have a very sassy day.